Is this as exciting for you as it is for me? It feels like Christmas. Hello and welcome to Chronically Musical. My name is Alice and I am a classical musician living with 2 autoimmune diseases. If you're new here, this channel is the place where I share my experiences as a professional violist as well as my life as a chronically ill person and kind of discuss how those 2 different facets of myself affect each other. Now, if you're not new here, welcome back! Thank you so much for sticking around. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you can get alerts whenever I put out new videos. You know, I'm a month into this sort of YouTube venture. The more feedback I can get from you guys, the more comments, the more critiques, the better. It really does help me improve on this new skill I'm learning, and I so appreciate it. So thank you. In last week's video, I talked through all of the different rectal medications that I've tried to treat my IBD. If you missed that video and you're curious about hearing me discuss sticking things you know where, go ahead and click the link above. It's entertaining, to say the least. Since last week was kind of a product review of those different medications that I use for my ulcerative colitis, I thought that I could do something similar with the items I use as a professional violist. Today, I'm going to talk through all of the things I keep in my case and then give you guys a top 5 list of products that I swear by as a former working string player. All right, so let's get started. Now, I have to tell you guys, I don't actually remember what is in this case because it's been about a year since I really went through and looked at everything in it. I haven't even opened my case in probably 2 weeks, realistically. It's gonna be a in-the-moment reveal of the things that I keep in here because I genuinely can't remember all of the things that I keep in here. Just in terms of the case that I use, I have a BAM. I think this is the oblong, but it is a carbon fiber case. They are really fantastic. I've had this for the last 11 years. If you can see, there's a hole here. Carbon fiber dries out over time, so it does eventually need to be replaced, but overall, BAM cases are fantastic. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but they're incredibly durable and really, really light, which is sort of my favorite thing about them. Yeah, I have a BAM case. There we go. Let me just talk through my actual, gear. So let's see what we have. My viola, which I currently have in a lovely custom viola bag. It's made by Chloe Trevor, and she had a company on Etsy called Evening Phoenix Designs. I'll put the little handle here. I'm not sure if she's still making these or not. It's been several years, but I keep my instrument in this. As far as my viola itself, this is a 16 1/8 inch viola from William Harris Lee in Chicago. It is a 2009 and the maker is Mietek Resnick, and I have had it since it was made. Then my bow that I'm currently playing on is also a modern bow, and it's from a shop in New Mexico called Robertson & Sons. And the maker is Pierre-Yves Fuchs, who is, I believe, a Swiss bow maker. And I've had this since 2016. I got it right before grad school auditions and right before a big concerto performance with orchestra. So that's my instrument. I'm going to go through and talk about all the things I keep in my case, and then I'm going to tell you guys the 5 things that I really cannot live without. These are my favorite things, and yeah, I'm excited. I like product reviews, apparently, so. All right, so first of all, I have my Dampit, which really needs water because, as you can see, it's holding a funny shape, and that means it's dried into this position. For those who don't know, this is actually a humidifier. You stick it in what is called an F-hole. Yes, it is really called that. Okay, then I have my shoulder rest. Let's see, what else? I have 2 cleaning cloths. I do also have an extra pair of strings. All right, so in my BAM case, it comes with this little pouch, and this is kind of where I store everything. So I'm gonna talk through what's in here. Again, I haven't actually looked in here for a really long time, so I'm not 100% sure of what is in here. I do know that there are 2 pencils though, because those are sticking out, and if you don't have a pencil in your case, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. Keep a pencil in your case. Better yet, Keep 2. Rosin, very important as a string player. Another kind of cleaning cloth, apparently. I don't even actually know what this is. It's quite dirty, so that's good. This is the BAM case. Oh, why is it like so aggressively yelling at me? The BAM case sort of instruction manual. This does not need to be kept. Although I will say this is the high-tech case, the BAM high-tech case. So now I know for sure. What else? What else? We have a bag of dried lavender. I heard once that lavender helped prevent bow bugs. I don't know if it's true, but it smells nice. And I have some nail clippers. So far so good. I'm proud of the things that I have in here. Then we have extra mutes, more extra mutes, as well as a fine tuner. Oh, I didn't even know I had this in here. Mrs. Manicure mini nail files. How cute. Little emery boards. So if I can't clip my nails, I can file them with a little mini nail file. More extra mutes. So that's 4 extra mutes. Then I have this little screwdriver that is for my chin rest, because I have a different kind of chin rest. Then I actually think I have I have the other kind of not screwdriver. I don't even know what this tool is called. Oh, this is a good one. This is really good. One dirty earplug. I mean, this might be the most useful thing in my case, because you never know when you're gonna need that. That is just disgusting. I am gonna throw that away right now. Practice mute. Oh, this is actually cool. So this is actually a custom bridge adjuster sort of thing. It actually has my name on it. And this was actually made, I had a new bridge made a couple of years ago when I lived in Austin, and the maker created this for me so I can always see how to adjust my bridge if it's leaning. So this goes on the belly of my instrument. This goes up against the bridge, and if there's a gap or anything between the back of my bridge and this, I know that I need to adjust the bridge so that it is flush with this. So it's actually great because I get a lot of anxiety over adjusting my bridge. Okay, and then last but not least, these are 2 different peg winders. And you might be thinking, Alice, why do you need peg winders for a viola? Well, I'm gonna get into that. All right, so first up on my top 5 essentials for every upper string player list is not very exciting, so don't get your hopes up, but it is very important. Cleaning cloths. It is so, so important to always have a really good like microfiber cleaning cloth in your case. I make sure that I clean on the top of my strings, underneath my strings, all around the bridge so that there's no rosin dust, and then I also clean my bow with this one. So essential, essential, essential. Have 1 or 2 cleaning cloths in your case at all times, and anytime you play, even if just for a minute or 2, just get in the habit of wiping off your instrument. It will save you a lot in the long run. You won't have to pay to get it cleaned, and it's gonna help preserve and keep your instrument in the best shape it can be in. All right, next on the list is my rosin. Now, this is not just any rosin, all right? This is a specific rosin. This is Bella Rosin's rosin. All right, now this rosin company is relatively new, I believe. It's based out of New York, started by Dr. Yang, who is a cellist, and he makes different types of rosin depending on your instrument or the type of sound you're going for. There is a lot of hype, especially on Instagram, in the classical string world, which is very niche, but there is a lot of hype about Bella Rosin's rosin, and I'm telling you, it is so, so worth it. I've been using this rosin for probably 2 years now, I would say. I think Dr. Yang has since changed his formula since I first bought rosin from him, but I can assure you that everything I've tried multiple different formulas that he's created, and I love every single one of them. This is what I keep in my viola case. This was called the concerto rosin. And then what I use for my electric violin and my violin is called the recital rosin. So the concerto has a little bit more bite to it. a little bit more of like a rich tone, which is great for viola, even cello. And then the recital I found works better with my violins. It's just not as sticky, I guess. So it doesn't create as much traction, and for my electric instrument especially, when it's plugged in, it picks up every little sound, so I don't necessarily want such a crunch with that one. I really do swear by this. It is by far the best rosin I've ever tried. It's moderately priced, I would say, because there are some types of rosin that can get kind of crazy, and then some really, really cheap ones. So this is definitely worth it. All right, number 3 on my list of essential products for upper strings is the Polymute. Now, as I mentioned when I was cleaning out my bag, I have several. So I have 2 clear and a black. Then I have a really fancy, beautiful, bedazzled one that in red. And then I have a 5th one, which is my dress-up mute that I wear if I have like an actual exciting performance. Also bedazzled in black, but it's kind of like a volcano. And these bedazzled versions are not actually from Polymute. They're actually done by a company called Baroque Bling. I sent in my Polymutes because I love them so much, and I wanted to get some bedazzled ones, which I realize is completely unnecessary. They're pretty and I enjoy them, so who cares? I sent them into Baroque Bling and had them Swarovski crusted. Just about the Polymutes in general, they really are the best mute I've ever tried. They're not expensive. They come in several different colors, and they don't slide around, they don't rattle, they're not heavy. They're just great. They have these little holes at the top, so they really grip onto the string and they don't rattle at all. I have so many extras because I hand them out to people at gigs if they need them. You always are gonna find someone on a job who doesn't have a mute. So I often offer them to people and then just let them keep them, to be honest, because they are so, so great. So there you go. Number 3 on my essential items, the Polymute. All right, number 4 on my list is a little new. It's a little expensive and a little fancy. If you thought the Swarovski crusted mutes were fancy, this is like next level fancy. It is my shoulder rest, the Pirastro Korfka rest. Now this was a pandemic splurge that I bought probably 6 months ago at the recommendation of my wonderful friend Kyle. Follow him on Instagram here. He's a beautiful person and a beautiful violinist. And you know, it was on sale on Shar. I wasn't gonna do this because it is ridiculously expensive. I can't even remember how much it was. I think I blocked it out from my brain because even on sale, it was like a huge purchase for something like a shoulder rest. But guys, violinists and violists, I'm telling you, it is like so, so worth it. It's a little bit different than, you know, your normal shoulder rest. It's got all these holes in it. It's made out of a flexible wood, so the entire thing can be bent to actually fit your shoulder and your neck. It has multiple legs that it comes with that you can adjust. The holes in the wood that it's made out of don't affect the sound, so it actually allows my instrument to vibrate more freely and creates a totally different sound. Give me 1 sec. Let me find my old shoulder rest. I'll do a little side-by-side demo. All right. So this is my old shoulder rest that I had for a really long time. It's called an Everest, and this was sort of the situation that I had created. It looks pretty dingy, to be honest. I really hope it's obvious because I thought it was, and that's why I thought buying it was acceptable. All right, it's my warm-up after not having played in weeks. So this is my old shoulder rest first. Unfortunately, the shoulder rests do not improve intonation. God, I really hope it's a significant difference on the camera when I listen back to this. All right. I don't know if it's obvious on camera, but at least under my ear, the difference is super significant. It's just much more open. It's not as squashed of a sound. It just feels like the instrument is able to breathe. Anyway, I think it's spectacular. That is my fourth essential tool. I think we're fourth on the list. I don't really know. I've lost track of where we are, but that's on my list. All right, so fifth on my list is again a little bit boring, but something that is essential for every single string player to have in their case at all times. It is an extra set of strings. Now, as you can see, I'm currently using Vision Solo strings. Ideally, your extra set of strings would be new. These are not new. I have not changed my strings in an embarrassingly long amount of time. Now again, that's kind of a boring essential thing to keep in your case, but you never know when you might need an extra string in a pinch, or someone else you maybe are working with or before a concert needs one and you can just hand it to them. You never know. You never want to be without extra strings in any scenario. Thankfully, I've never actually broken a string on my viola before, which is in part due to what I guess I would call my sixth essential tool that I'm now adding to my list spontaneously, which are my pegs. Now let me explain. As I alluded to earlier with my peg winders, I don't have normal wooden pegs. I am lucky enough to have the Whitner geared pegs on my instrument. Guys, these are a game changer. I have had these on my viola since 2012. They work just like a fine tuner would on a regular violin or viola, and are kind of actually very similar to guitar pegs, which are also geared. Now, the only downside to these types of pegs is when you have to change your strings. On a normal wooden peg, changing your strings is like easy peasy. But with something like geared pegs, you would be sitting here winding these strings on and off for hours to change them, and it's a pain. So at one point, my dad gave me, who's a guitar player, this peg winder that he used for his guitars, but then we upgraded to something much more exciting. Don't panic. I know it sounds crazy, but I changed my strings with a drill. I actually have a drill attachment that I modified to fit my pegs. So again, it was for guitar, and then we actually had to deepen the groove a little bit. This is how I changed them. Do not try this at home. Do not try this unless you have geared pegs. I've done this for several years, so I'm comfortable with it, but this is not something that you just go ahead and do, okay? All right, so that's how I changed them. And we're not even like halfway done. Like there's still so much string left to unwind. All right, good enough. Honestly, like this drill and this attachment should also be on my list. So they're my seventh essential item because I use them every time I change my strings. I would literally spend hours changing my strings if I didn't have this. So yeah, so there you have it. Those are my top 7, I guess, essential tools as a professional violist. If I don't use these products every single time I play my instrument, then I certainly use them quite frequently, and I can assure you they are all tried, tested, and true. I believe in them 100% and would not recommend them if I didn't. If you have any questions about any of the products or items that I've discussed today, please feel free to leave a comment below, or you can send me a message on Instagram. I love talking about this kind of stuff. I get just as excited about niche string tools as I do about IBD rectal treatments. So any and all questions are welcome. If you're a musician or a string player yourself and there's something in your case that you swear by and cannot live without, put that in the comments too, because I'm always on the hunt for new and exciting things to try, and there's always more to learn. So again, thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And that's all I got. So I will see you all next week. Bye.